You got a tattoo, then you gotta have a story behind it. Coming up, a lady's out of her cage and Technicolor ink.
This is Baseball Guy here, and I'm in Houston, Texas, and I got one of Houston's finest tattoo models here, Krystal. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing awesome, and you got some amazing work here. Why don't you tell me? Well, let's just start. Which one was your favorite?
My favorite, it's torn now with the newest one, but would be the tiger on my arm because that's for my daughter. It was her favorite animal. The colors, her favorite colors, mine as well. We just kind of mixed everything together. And so that was my favorite for a long time. And this one equals that for me because this is my freedom, my cage that I'm coming out of, and symbolizes a lot for me with where I'm at.
Well, obviously, tattoos have a lot of meaning, and that idea of freedom is huge for everyone, I think. And this ends up being kind of like therapy, right?
Oh yeah, it's definitely my therapy. I do call my artist my therapist. And actually, last time I went to the studio, the owner was outside and said hi to me, and he's like, "You're back again?" I was like, "Yeah, this time it's actually for therapy." So yeah, it's they know me pretty well around there.
And who is your artist?
His name is Darren Clark. He goes by Red. He's at the Black Pearl Tattoo Studio off of 529 near Barker Cypress.
All right, so there's a great place, and not only get a great tattoo, but also to build a relationship and get some therapy from. Now, what was the first tattoo that you got?
Ooh, the first tattoo was fun. It actually made it to where therapy is now from tattoos. It was very rough. Couldn't get it all done in one session because he was very heavy-handed and a lot of bleeding, unfortunately. But it was on my back, lower back. It was a tribal with some waves and
Basic tramp stamp.
yeah, pretty much. 18 years old, got out of the house, get a tattoo, might as well.
Has that been covered up since, or is it still there?
It's still there. It's been reworked some by my artist. He kind of added to it and worked around and did like a hip piece. He did a cover up as well for me, so he kind of tied it all in together and combined it, reworked it a little bit, but it is still there.
And now on your arms, you got kind of a little dichotomy here between the skull and the flower. Why don't you tell me about that?
I have actually had, been a while, but I've had quite a few near-death experiences, just different health issues and stuff like that. So I did want to get the skull as a reminder, death's always around, but the flower as well, because there's beauty in life, and it's worth, fighting for and keeping going, regardless of the death.
Well, we're glad that you did keep fighting, that you are still here. Obviously, we got the tiger. We got some amazing flowers and some beautiful designs over here. Tell me about those.
Yeah, the hibiscus is I've always loved the flower. It's very feminine. It's very, empowering in a lot of cultures and stuff like that. It's a very highly used flower, and I just love the symbolism of that. So we started that. That was actually a 3-session piece. And I don't regret it. I love it. It adds to just me.
And just you're doing some modeling. So tell me about your experience as a model and as a twisted angel.
I've been doing the modeling about 3 years now. Loving it and finally really starting to grow with it the past 6 months. Twisted Angels, what I was accepted into last year, and love working with the group. Hoping we can make some events soon and get together and meet more of the angels that I see all the time on my feed because they're great, great models. I've loved all of the work that I've been seeing.
That's outstanding. Very awesome. And you got a great look, and I know your photographs just pop. So, I mean, I'm sure you look at them and you just got to smile and be so proud.
I really am. I really am. Especially the most recent one. The Dark Angel was a long time project for me. And getting the video along with it was just, I got to work with the makeup artist I wanted, the photographer I wanted. I got the video I needed in my life at this point in time.
All right, so you're going to want to check her out in that Dark Angel. Next tattoo, what are you going to get?
Next tattoo might be a cover-up of my wrist here. which was symbolism for my marriage, which is we're currently separated.
Hence the bird cage and the getting free.
Yeah, pretty much. It's so that's going to be one of my cover-ups. I think I'm going to do a rainbow eucalyptus up the arm and just kind of get it filled in and continue the sleeve and give it, new hope for me as well.
It's amazing how tattoos can really tell the story of your life. And sometimes there are parts of those stories that, you kind of are ready to move on from. And having a little cover up, it's a nice way to hopefully get past that. And you do seem like a warrior and someone that battles well. And so I'm feeling very inspired here talking to you and listening to your story. So.
Well, I appreciate that. I really do. I've been working really hard. I've got big plans for the future. I'm starting to get everything lined up and into place. Hopefully my media company will be open within the next few months and I'll be able to start getting my name out there and building something that could hopefully change the way things are going right now.
Well, we're going to be checking out with your name and your Instagram and all that kind of stuff and showing some photos. And hopefully this video will help with that as well. And we want to thank you for your time watching this video. I think we've had a great time getting to hear about her tattoos. Certainly like this video. Please subscribe to our channel, make some comments, talk about how awesome she is and how awesome her tattoos are and how it's great to be free. This is Baseball Guy and Krystal, and we're checking out. 2, 1. Baseball Guy here coming from Houston, Texas, and I got Houston's own Renee here. Renee, how are you doing today?
I'm good. How about you?
Excellent, excellent. Having a great time talking about tattoos today. And you have got some amazing color. And I'm not talking just about your lips and just about your hair. I'm talking about your arms, your legs, your back, and everything. You've got some amazing tattoos. So at what age were you when you thought, I want to get some tattoos?
Actually, probably about 13,
Okay. And how old were you when you got your first tattoo?
16.
Fake ID, someone backyard. How'd you get that?
I was dating the artist.
Ooh, how old was he?
23.
Okay, at least he wasn't like 35 or something I was kind of expecting, but still, okay. So, and tell me a little bit about that first tattoo.
So my first tattoo, I had met the guy online, and I didn't really...
Was that MySpace?
No, Vampire Freaks. So worse. He didn't actually know my age until right before we met, so weird situation. But I went to go meet up with him for the tattoo, and I explained to him kind of what I wanted, but because I didn't have it printed out for him, I actually had to sit down and look at a flash book that you can find at Barnes & Noble. And he made me sit down and stare at it for like 2 hours straight to make sure that's what I wanted. And originally I wanted it on my arm, but he told me it was a bad idea for your first tattoo and to get it somewhere easily hidden. So then that's how I ended up getting it on my back calf.
And how much did that one hurt?
It hurt a lot. I was squirming a little bit. Yeah. But I wouldn't recommend that as a first spot.
Where would you recommend for the first spot?
The upper thigh. That's if you get the outer part of the thigh, it doesn't hurt nearly as bad as some of the other places.
Now, you got something on your upper thigh now that looks like freaking amazing. Tell me about that one.
So I got that one as I absolutely love zombies. When I finally was able to get into horror films, I was able to find my favorite ones were the zombies. So I knew I wanted to get a zombie tattoo. However, it was a little bit harder at the time to get something more gruesome. So I came across a piece of art online, and I picked out this pinup zombie because I also love to dress up as pinup. So it really resonated with me. But we did ended up changing a little bit of the artwork because the original art piece where the jester head used to be a skeleton holding a big bass, but I'm not a fan of the rockabilly music. So we put a logo from one of my favorite bands, In Flames, instead.
In Flames, good band. And I got to ask, what's your favorite zombie movie?
Resident Evil.
Okay. So I'm originally from Pittsburgh. Night of the Living Dead was filmed in Pittsburgh, and then what was it? Dawn of the Dead was actually filmed in my hometown of Monroeville. So we are called the zombie capital of the world. So you have to check that out.
Most definitely. Is it the remake of Dawn of the Dead or the first one?
The first one from the 70s.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I really like the remake too, so that's why I had to ask.
Yeah. And now you also have some amazing tattoos on your arms. You got a butterfly over here, and then you've got this little rose with the skull on it. Tell me about your left arm.
So with the butterfly, I was going through a lot of hardships at the time, a lot of changes in my life were coming to fruition, I guess. And I'm a very spontaneous person. And my sister showed me a Facebook video of a thing called You Get What You Get. And it was a local tattoo shop here in Houston that has these gumball machines where the artist put in flash, either off of the flash wall or flash they've done themselves, and you pay for a token, and it's either $100 or $150, and then you go take the token and you put it in, and then you get what you get.
That's so freaking cool.
I definitely got lucky and got the butterfly because I told myself if it was a snake, I was screwed because I'm not getting it. But then my thumb tattoo is I got this really overwhelming feeling that I wanted a hand tattoo, and I was supposed to go and get one for Friday the 13th, the cheap $13 deals. But that same night, my son had to be admitted into the hospital, a mental facility. So I wasn't able to go with my friends when they went. So instead, I got with one of my artists who did most of my tattoos. Me and him got together, sat down, decided to do the road.
And what's your artist's name?
There's two of them. There's Joel Torres and then Nino Munoz. So Nino is the guy who did my tattoos first. That's the ex-boyfriend who is we're still really great friends to this day. And then the other guy is Joel Torres, which he's the one that's working on my right arm.
And do they work out of the same shop or different shops?
Well, Joel actually works in the shop. Nino doesn't. He hasn't worked out of a shop, I don't think, in several years now.
What shop does Joel work out of?
He works at Packers Tattoos in Rosenberg. I don't know an address.
Okay. Yeah. Well, we're going to split that up here on the Instagram. We're going to show that up here on the screen. So tell me, you were telling me a little bit more about the thumb tattoo. So go on and finish up about what he did there.
So I just knew that I wanted a skull and a rose. That was the main concept. And we just sat and worked on it for a while until we got it perfect. Because I didn't want a cutesy skull or like the minimalist type of tattoo. I'm not a big fan of them for me. So that's how we came up with the skull that I have. Because at first it was a little bit more dynamic. I can't say it.
Demonic.
There we go. Yeah, that. We had it more like that, but I had to tone it down just a little bit because of my job. So, but that's how we came up with the little thing. And then he decided to put in a little splash of purple into it because he knows my favorite color is purple.
And then on your back, you've got a skull with some purple, and it's a certain rock star. So why don't you tell us about that one?
Yes. So the one on my back is inspired by the Rev, who was in Avenged Sevenfold but died in 2009. The reason why it was so significant to me was because of some friends of mine back in Nevada. We used to always play songs and stuff in the house we used to hang out in, and Avenged Sevenfold was a big part of that. Well, the day that I had to move here to Texas was the day I was supposed to go see them live, and the Rev was still alive. Well, I ended up moving down to Texas that day instead, and the Rev later died, I think, in the same month. So it was pretty devastating.
Baseball guy seen Avenged Sevenfold, and that was after the Rev had passed away. So I unfortunately didn't get to see him. So you're not alone in that boat, but thankfully we got a lot of videos from him and everything. So, and then you got some pretty awesome colors here on your arm. There's one that you're currently working on with the heart here. Why don't you tell me about that one?
So this one mostly was a piece for just to kind of help fill in my sleeve because I decided to dedicate my entire arm to Joel Torres's work. I wanted to make sure that he had something that was solely his, so we could start submitting them into tattoo magazines and stuff. Plus, I'd really love to be a tattoo model. So this was mainly just a piece of, hey, I really like skulls. I really like the human hearts thing. What can you come up with? And I showed up at the shop, and within 30 minutes, he came out and he had this piece right here for me, which I absolutely love because it's perfect. So his idea, he decided to add in the crystals and the little flory thingies all on his own. But I trust his judgment with a lot of his artwork. So that was really awesome.
Well, Joel seems to be doing some amazing work in the big rig with Taz. I mean, was that his idea or your idea?
That was actually my idea. The tattoo's really for my father. Both me and my dad drive semis. He owns his own truck, which that's what's on my arm is his truck. I took a picture of it and sent it to Joel, and he turned it into a cartoon thing. And then I also wanted a bike because my dad always has motorcycles. He always has at least one. He's not a big biker dude, but absolutely loves bikes. So, and then Taz, I've always had a connection with Taz to my dad because my dad, when he used to have business cards, usually had the Tasmanian devil on it. And then his floor mats in his truck is Taz hanging out of a semi. So I told Joel, I need this truck, this bike, because this bike's based off of a bike my dad had when I was younger. And Taz, I need them all in the same picture. And he came up with this rat fink type picture and tattooed it for me. So I really appreciated that. But we placed it in the place it's at is because that's my shifting arm. Because, yes, I can drive a standard.
I just can't get over when I was a little kid and used to drive by a truck and go like this, hoping them to honk. Could you imagine the kid that goes by, they're hoping to get you to honk, and then they see, wow, this is the truck driver. I've never seen a truck driver look this cool before. This is pretty rad. You ever get stares that, wow, you don't look like a normal truck driver?
Yes, I've gotten stares. I've gotten questions. I've walked through truck stops before and guys stop and ask me if that's really my truck or not, or to make the comments of, I can't believe you're the one driving that. It's definitely been interesting, but it's a lot of fun getting those stares too, to show that just anybody can really do it, as long as you are at least a good driver and you have a great sense of direction. You can do it, and it's really easy for a lot of people because it's a job that once you get into, you don't really have to leave, and there's always job security. So women drivers are actually becoming way more popular now than male drivers.
Awesome. You're breaking some barriers, though, and that's really cool. I mean, how many truck drivers are, like, tatted up, like, with this kind of just, like, awesome look and going to be a tattoo model and everything? It's a little different, and, when you're a cover girl and you're, Trucker Mag or whatever, it's going to be pretty awesome.
Yeah, that definitely would be awesome.
Well, your personality is definitely winning me over here. So, guys, if you're on a trip and you happen to have this lovely young lady as your driver, make sure you tell her you saw this video. Make sure you tell her that you liked this video, that you commented on this video, that you subscribe to the channel so you can continue to watch videos like this. And we just got to thank you so much. I wish you the best of luck in your tattoo modeling career. And this is Baseball Guy. This is Renee, and we're checking out.